Before this video begins, if you want to go straight to the tutorial, then please do skip to the below time frame.
Okay guys, so I want to tell you a little bit of a story before I get into the tutorial side of things. If you guys are aware of the horror game known as Visage or Visage or whatever you like to call it, that game was like the very first game that I found out about this thing that I'm going to be giving you a tutorial about. And what that thing is, obviously, is the whole forced look at event where the game, or you go into a trigger in your level, and once you go into that trigger, your sort of camera looks at something specific in the scene, looking at a specific object, and then it stays there and you resume your control. And ever since then, I have been trying my best to, well, actually, hang on. Since then, I thought, okay, maybe that's just a Unreal Engine thing, because Visage was made in Unreal Engine. So I thought, okay, maybe I can't make that sort of thing in Unity. Until I played a game called The Closing Shift, and then played another game called The Bathhouse, and both games were made by an indie development team called Chiller's Art. Now, I didn't really think much of The Closing Shift. Like, obviously, you had like your character look at the people inside of that sort of cutscene trigger event thing. But in The Closing Shift, I just assumed that once the sort of look at event was finished, that it would just resume control in the original position. But in the bathhouse, I realized that when the look at trigger event happens, once it's finished, the camera stays in that position. It does not revert back to the original position. Because what usually happens, and I've done this in a few of my games as well, what usually happens is that when I trigger a look at object event, then once the event is finished, the camera snaps back into the original position before the animation takes place. And of course, when you're making a game, you don't exactly want to have your player look at an object and then for it to just like snap back to the original position, because that looks weird, you know? So I've been trying to wrap my head around how you could possibly do this, and it's taken me the longest time to find out how you do this. And now we've got a scene view here, so I'm going to maximize on play because why not? So let's go ahead and go into this scene, and what's happening in this scene is that we've got this simple first person camera, and you can move around in it, just, you know, simple like that. Now if I press, I think it's like, well, I've put the key bindings to either T or R to like look at an object. So first of all, we've got these two objects, the circle, or sphere actually, not circle, and cube. So then if we just, I don't know, look over here for absolutely no reason whatsoever, let's press T. So we look at the sphere. Now normally, once the look animation event finishes, my camera would snap back to where I just was, but because the event has now finished, I can continue looking at it and I resume control. And also if I press R, and let's look away once again, so press R, so we look at it, and now we look at that, and of course we resume control. So how do we do this exactly? So let's just go on to our prefab. Well, actually, I'm using someone else's project, and they've been kind enough for me to use it to show you guys. But yeah, let's go onto the camera, and we've got this FP mouse look. So let's open up this FP, well, first person mouse look script, and of course, you know, most people have like Visual Studio to open this up in, but I've got this thing called Script Inspector 3. I mean, it's about 30 quid, but it's so worth it. So here we have the public transform look target. So what that is it's one of these. It's actually a target object. So I've got a target object right here. It's just a random empty object in the world, you know. So what I've done is, let's just not worry about that transform right now. And we've got like a look speed. We don't need to worry about the look speed really, because it's not hugely important. So first of all, I want to direct you to a video which helps me out with the whole like smoothly look at an object. And this video was actually done by someone named Speed Tutor, I think. Okay, so I was completely wrong. So the YouTuber that made this video is Liam Academy, and they made a video called Make Any Object Smoothly Turn or Look at Another Object. So this video is sort of basing on that video. So once you've got that video learned and understood, then we can carry on with this one. I mean, of course, I'm gonna give you guys this script in like the description of the video anyway. Well, try to if I actually, remember. But the baseline of this is that we've got this sort of transform rotation slowly lerping towards the target position of the object. The main point of this is when you stop looking at the object. So after the event is done. And what is happening here is that you're getting the Euler or Euler angles of the look rotation, and you're applying it to your current look rotation. Again, I'm going to give you the whole script. You don't necessarily need to understand everything that's going on, but again, I will give you the script in the description, and you guys can sort of like experiment, play around and stuff like that. Like I don't think there's much point in me explaining to you what's actually happening in the script. I'd rather you guys just look at the script, experiment with it, and then try to understand it yourself, because that's sort of how I did it. And that's how I've kind of understood it myself. And the great thing about this script is that because you've got these sort of public voids, like look at target, you can literally reference these methods in other scripts, like I'm going to show you right now. So I have this random game object. Actually, hang on. I like how they're sort of like very close together. Anyway, yeah. We've got this random game object in the scene. Nothing is on the game object except from a look at animation event that I've curated. So let's go ahead and open up this script. So we've got the mouse look, which we just looked at. So we've got a public reference to it. We've also got a public reference to the player move. I mean, that's not hugely important. It's just there so that, like, if you want to make the look at animation happen, just disable your movement and disable your look so that you can't move or look whilst the animation is happening. And I've got a serialized game object, which is target object and sphere and cube. So I'm referencing both the target object and the sphere and the cube, so that when I press, say, T or R. So let's just go with R because it's referencing both the sphere and the cube. So then I start a coroutine, and let's look at the two objects. So I change the position of the target object to where the sphere is, and then I disable my movement and my look, and then I can call the mouse look script and use the look at target method to then look at the object and then say wait 4 seconds or whatever, and then change the target object position to the cube position, and then call the exact same functions. And that's how you do it really. So it's taken me so long to figure this stuff out because I don't know why it's like this, but also I just want to show you one other thing. So if you see this, if x minus 360 greater than minus 90, x minus equals 360. If you actually, I'm not going to remove that. I'm just going to put in a sort of, I don't know, divider. That's what I call it. I call it a divider because you're dividing part of the code outside. You're commenting part of it, but you're not. I know what I'm talking about. So if we sort of comment that part out and then save it, and now let's go back into the game, and then I'm gonna press T to do the look at thing. So we are just sort of looking at the board. So let's press T. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, so where are we looking? Okay, so our sort of rotation just goes a little bit wonky. So let's just try again. Yeah, so our rotation sort of goes way beneath the object. So that sort of X, that piece of math is essential to having the look rotation like be sort of constant in a way. And the reason why I brought this up is because I thought that, oh, maybe you don't need this. Maybe it's just a piece of code that like you're not gonna, essentially need for this look rotation event, right? But nope, it is 100% essential, and well, I mean, there you go. Now, one thing I almost forgot to mention is that most first-person controllers have the camera controlling the player, as in you're sort of rotating the player as you are with the camera, but here you're not actually doing that. So down here we've got the current look rotation, which is getting the mouse X and the mouse Y, but we are only we're only rotating the camera. We're not rotating the player. So how do we make the player go in the direction of the camera? So here we have on my prefab player thing, I've got a first person move script, and in here I've got your basic first person controller right here. But here what we have is actually, first of all, you need to have a transform for your camera. That is essential. And then you would need to make a vector 3 for your camera forward to then equal your camera dot forward. So you've got that, and you also need your camera dot right and your vector 3 cam right. So this script I will also put in the description of the video. So all you're doing here is you're getting the X and Z axis of your camera, and using that Z and X axis to move your player along wherever the camera is facing. And that's why we've got a camera forward dot Y is equal to 0, because you don't exactly want to be going up, do you? You like, if your camera is facing up, you don't want your camera going up, do you? So there you go. And because of using your camera to face where you want your player to go, unfortunately, most player controllers have like velocity to control your rigid body to move your player. But here, unfortunately, you'd have to use move position, because if you're doing velocity, some weird things will happen that you don't exactly want happening to your player. So if you want to move your player whilst using this system, you're going to have to use move position and tweak it a little bit. But yeah, that's all I can really give you for this tutorial. I didn't want to go through all of the coding because it would take too much time, and I can't fully explain it myself. All I can do is just show you how to do it, and then, you can do it. Because that's the thing with these sort of coding practices. Like, I can't really explain it to you, but, the coding is there. it works, use it in your projects to do whatever you want to do in your projects with, and that's all you can do really. And the way that I've understood it is that I've experimented it myself. I know that I'm repeating myself, of course, and I apologize for this, but the best way to learn how to do something is really just to experiment on that piece of coding. Like, why does it work that way, and does it work any other way? If it doesn't, okay, fine. It works that way. Just experiment. But that is the tutorial, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope this has all helped you out, and this might actually be the first ever video to help out in this specific example. I know it's like the smallest, the most tiniest thing in Unity to do. I know that. It's still one of the most, I don't know, immersive things or effective things when it comes to first-person gameplay, because you don't want to look at something and then just snap back because it looks weird. You want to keep on looking at it and resume your control. So yeah, I hope this will helped you out, and I hope you all enjoyed the video as well. So then, I shall see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.